Whispers behind palace walls have now turned into headlines splashed across newspapers and social media feeds. In the heart of Denmark, an emotional storm brews within the walls of Amalienborg Palace. A storm not of politics or duty, but of something far more human: love, betrayal, and the piercing ache of a heart caught between royal protocol and private heartbreak. Queen Mary, the poised, elegant, and beloved Australian-born consort of Denmark, is facing one of the most emotionally taxing chapters of her reign, as King Frederik once again stirs controversy with behavior that has ignited a wave of speculation and concern. The question haunting many is simple: how much heartache can even a queen endure? Denmark, a nation that takes great pride in its modern monarchy, has always held Queen Mary in the highest regard. From the moment she captured the heart of Crown Prince Frederik in Sydney in 2000, their love story seemed to be plucked straight from a fairy tale. She transformed from a commoner into a future queen, mastering Danish, adapting to royal traditions, and earning the love of her people through years of service and impeccable grace. But even fairy tales can harbor shadows. And now, more than 2 decades later, it seems the once unshakable foundation of their royal romance is showing cracks that even the most loyal of royalists cannot ignore. Recently, King Frederik has been spotted in several situations that have raised more than just eyebrows. His unusually flirty demeanor during public engagements has drawn criticism, while some palace insiders suggest his attention seems increasingly distracted, sometimes even wandering toward women outside the royal circle. What was once seen as charming and spontaneous is now being interpreted through a darker, more uncomfortable lens. For Queen Mary, these public displays are more than just awkward, they're personal. Sources close to the palace whisper of late-night conversations filled with tension, tears behind closed doors, and a queen who is fighting not just for her public image, but for the soul of her marriage. The royal couple, who became king and queen following Queen Margrethe II's abdication, have always maintained a polished public front. Their ascension was meant to symbolize a new era, a breath of fresh air for the Danish monarchy. Yet the timing of Frederik's latest behavior couldn't be more damaging. Instead of basking in the glow of national pride, the royal household finds itself embroiled in scandalous speculation, one that could undermine the credibility of the very institution they were chosen to modernize. Mary, ever the embodiment of restraint and duty, continues to fulfill her royal obligations with grace. Her recent solo engagements have sparked widespread admiration for her resilience. But to those who watch closely, the way her smile falters ever so slightly, the distance in her eyes, there is a growing sense that this is a woman deeply hurt. Not by one moment, not by one comment, but by a pattern, a recurring wound that is never given the chance to fully heal. Those close to her have noted her increased time spent at private retreats, away from the palace, often with close friends or alone. There, away from the flashing cameras and curated photo ops, the Queen is reportedly taking time to reflect on the next steps, not just as monarch, but as a woman and a mother. King Frederik, for his part, has neither confirmed nor denied the rumors. His silence speaks volumes. At public events, he appears charismatic as ever, smiling for the cameras, shaking hands with dignitaries, and giving speeches that resonate with national pride. Yet behind the scenes, royal watchers say, a different Frederik emerges, one who seems increasingly distant from Mary, and increasingly captivated by the attention he receives from others. While many dismiss this as mid-life exuberance or the pressure of new kingship, others argue that it reflects a deeper rift between the royal couple. This wouldn't be the first time Frederik's behavior has raised questions. Throughout their marriage, there have been rumors, fleeting at times, but persistent, suggesting that the king's wandering eye has caused strain within the royal household. Mary, ever the diplomat, has always chosen to rise above it, focusing on her work, her children, and her role as Denmark's queen. But as the whispers grow louder and the moments of flirtation become harder to ignore, even the most composed royal cannot pretend forever. What complicates the matter even further is the immense pressure placed on the couple by their royal roles. They are not just husband and wife, they are king and queen. Every gesture, every glance, every moment of silence is dissected by the public and press alike. In such an environment, a private disagreement becomes a national event. A cool exchange at a public function turns into front-page speculation. And a king's casual flirtation, intentional or not, becomes a crisis. Palace aides, ever cautious, have reportedly attempted to control the narrative. Official statements speak of unity, shared goals, and a thriving royal household. But leaks continue to emerge, small details that hint at a growing emotional chasm between Frederik and Mary. From staying in separate quarters during royal tours to arriving at events in separate vehicles, the symbolism is hard to ignore. These are not merely logistical decisions, they are emotional red flags waving before the eyes of a deeply observant nation. Meanwhile, the Danish people, known for their deep connection to their monarchy, are responding with a mix of sympathy and concern. Public opinion remains staunchly in favor of Queen Mary, whose dedication to Denmark is unquestionable. Her advocacy for mental health, domestic violence survivors, and women's rights has earned her respect beyond royal circles. As a mother, she is fiercely protective of her 4 children, who now find themselves caught in the crossfire of a very public family struggle. The role of the media in this unfolding drama cannot be understated. Every move is captured, analyzed, and broadcast to millions. Some tabloids have published paparazzi shots of Frederik sharing a laugh with female companions at late-night events. Others have zoomed in on Mary's expression during these outings, dissecting every smile, every glance, every blink. In the age of digital scrutiny, nothing is sacred, not even the heart of a queen. Yet for all the turmoil, there is no talk of separation. Not officially, at least. The royal family remains committed to presenting a united front, but insiders believe that behind closed doors, difficult conversations are being had. About trust, about respect, about the future, not just of their marriage, but of the monarchy itself. For if Queen Mary were to walk away, what message would that send to the world? And what would remain of Denmark's royal image? As the story unfolds, one thing is certain: Queen Mary continues to rise above. Despite the pain, despite the betrayal, she remains focused on her duty. Her most recent appearance at a children's hospital in Aarhus was a masterclass in composure. Dressed in soft blues, she knelt beside patients, held their hands, and listened intently. Her pain, if it exists behind that poised exterior, was hidden well. Yet viewers couldn't help but notice her solitude. No king beside her, no shared laughter, just Mary, standing alone, yet standing tall. What lies ahead for the Danish royal couple remains uncertain. Will King Frederik adjust his ways and recommit to the woman who stood by him for decades? Or will the pattern repeat, leaving Queen Mary to navigate her heartbreak in the unforgiving spotlight of royal duty? What we do know is that the eyes of the world are watching. And as this deeply personal, deeply human drama plays out against the backdrop of royal splendor, one can't help but ask: do fairy tales always need a happy ending, or is it enough to simply survive the storm? Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below.